Your Bible, one Bible or multiple ones. I started with one, but then added to my collection. So I had them in multiple places to remind me, and it definitely helped me. Another thing I'm going to start doing different, since this is my effort to try to get everyone into the habit of reading daily. Today is going to be the last day, I think, that I'm going to actually read through what we're going to talk about. So today we're reading through finishing chapter 8. We're going to be starting in verse 26 and going through 56. But then starting tomorrow, we'll do part of chapter 9 and just talk about it. And hopefully you can take time before or after the video to get into that reading. And it may not be that this is the reading plan you want to do. This is part of what I'm doing. I'm actually reading through the Bible chronologically right now. I have a chronological Bible. But the Gospels, I just feel like, is a good way to start reading the Bible. Usually it's recommended for people to start in the New Testament just because it's where we are now. We're, AD, and we're on that side of the cross. And this is, I don't want to say it's the most important, but the gospel is what it's all about right now, right? So it's always highly recommended to start in the New Testament. So that's just what I felt being called to kind of take you all through with this platform that I have. But starting tomorrow, you can just plan to read before or after if you want to do the Gospels with me. So we'll finish with chapter 8 right now, starting in verse 26. And it starts with the demoniac cured. Then they sailed to the country of the Gerasenes, which is opposite Galilee. And when he came out into the land, he was met by a man from the city who possessed with demons. He is Jesus. And who had not put on any clothing for a long time, and was not living in a house, but in the tombs. Seeing Jesus, he cried out and fell before him, and said in a loud voice, "What business do we have with each other, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, do not torment me." For he had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of the man, for it had seized him many times, and he was bound with chains and shackles and kept under guard. And yet he would break his bonds and be driven by the demons into the desert. And Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" And he said, "Legion," for many demons had entered him. They were imploring him not to command them to go away into the abyss. Now there was a herd of many swine feeding there on the mountain, and the demons implored him to permit them to enter the swine, and he gave them permission. And the demons came out of the man and entered the swine, and the herd rushed down a steep bank into the lake and was drowned. When the herdsmen saw what had happened, they ran away and reported it in the city and out in the country. The people went out to see what had happened, and they came to Jesus and found the man from whom the demons had gone out, sitting down at the feet of Jesus, clothed and in his right mind. And they became frightened. Those who had seen it reported to them how the man who was demon-possessed had been made well. And all the people of the country of the Gerasenes and the surrounding district asked him to leave them, for they were gripped with great fear, and he got into a boat and returned. But the man from whom the demons had gone out was begging him that he might accompany him, but he sent him away, saying, "Return to your house and describe what great things God has done for you." So he went away, proclaiming throughout the whole city what great things Jesus had done for him, and miracles of healing. And as Jesus returned, the people welcomed him, for they had all been waiting for him. And there came a man named Jairus, and he was an official of the synagogue. And he fell at Jesus' feet and began to implore him to come to his house. For he had an only daughter, about 12 years old, and she was dying. But as he went, the crowds were pressing against him. And a woman who had a hemorrhage for 12 years and could not be healed by anyone came up behind him and touched the fringe of his cloak. And immediately her hemorrhage stopped. And Jesus said, "Who is the one who touched me?" And while they were all denying it, Peter said, "Master, the people are crowding and pressing in on you." But Jesus said, "Someone did touch me, for I was aware that power had gone out of me." When the woman saw that she had not escaped notice, she came trembling and fell down before him, and declared in the presence of all the people the reason why she had touched him, and how she had been immediately healed. And he said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace." While he was still speaking, someone came from the house of the synagogue official saying, "Your daughter has died. Do not trouble the teacher anymore." But when Jesus heard this, he answered, "Do not be afraid any longer. Only believe, and she will be made well." When he came to the house, he did not allow anyone to enter with him, except Peter and John and James, and the girl's father and mother. Now they were all weeping and lamenting for her. But he said, "Stop weeping, for she has not died, but is asleep." And they began laughing at him, knowing that she had died. He, however, took her by the hand and called, saying, "Child, arise." And her spirit returned, and she got up immediately, and he gave orders for something to be given her to eat. Her parents were amazed, but he instructed them to tell no one what had happened. So that finished out chapter 8. And one thing that I found, First Baptist recently did a renovation where they were getting rid of their, or primarily their library, so they had a lot of books, a lot of them really old. And this is one of the many books that Mom and I got, and there's a lot of books, small books like this that are about different books of the Bible. And so I pulled this one out just to see what it said about the chapter that we are in. And I actually wanted to read the paragraph about it because I thought it was really good. And this actually goes into verse 22 through 25 as well, and then it finishes out chapter 8. So it says, Luke brought together in this section 4 stories of man's helplessness and his hope. Disciples saved in a storm on a lake, which is what we read yesterday. A demonic made whole, the little daughter of Jairus raised up, and a woman healed of a 12-year hemorrhage. The Lord, who has power over nature, demons, death, and disease, offers hope to the helpless. There is no person or human need beyond the concern of Jesus. The concern of Jesus is most strikingly brought out by the contrast between the concern of Jesus to save a Gerasene demoniac and the concern of certain citizens over the loss of their hogs, their swine. Whatever the meaning of demons, the Gerasene was deranged, hostile, and possibly had a suicidal tendency. He was not one whole person. He was legion, which fragmented into many. Jesus freed him from the demons, and the man was found clothed in his right mind and saved or made whole. Saved is used in various ways in the New Testament. Here it is used to refer to making a whole man well. Jesus is concerned not only for all men, but for the wholeness of each man. In saving persons, Jesus is concerned to cleanse, heal, liberate, redirect, and empower them for a new kind of life. He is concerned to save man morally, spiritually, ethically, socially, and bodily. And this reminds me a bit of how the Pharisees responded when Jesus would do miracles on the Sabbath. They were always more concerned with him breaking these man-made laws, really, because while you're directed to do no work on the Sabbath, they had made the law or made the rules bigger than what they needed to be for certain cases, like saving a person's life. And so they were all about, can you imagine being more concerned with your pigs than a person's life? And that's really where a lot of, I think, issues are today. It's people get more concerned with how things affect them than a person being saved. What were the circumstances or how that's affecting them? And it's just important for us to remember that this whole thing that we're in right now, the sole goal of it is for as many people as possible to get into heaven after this thing called life. And it's up to us who have been saved to draw more people there. It's the only responsibility that we have. And so it's a privilege. We need to remember it's a privilege, and we need to take it seriously. And, there's really a lot of momentum right now, I feel like. You've got, while you have a lot of bad things happening, which is absolutely nothing new, you also have a lot of people who are like, this is my time to stand up, and this is my time to be bold for the gospel. And so we need to take that momentum and use it ourselves to spread the gospel. I saw a video yesterday with, it was a preacher who must have been at a large church. I really can't remember. And he was talking about how he had this video that he wasn't sure if he should share it in a church setting. It was a really powerful video, but there was a cuss word that was said in it. And he realized that it wasn't about the cuss word that was said. It was about the heart of the person saying it. And it was Shia LaBeouf, who, I don't know what he's acted in lately, but I know he was an actor, went through a lot of really hard times. And he had somebody ask him what he would say if he saw Jesus, or when he meets Jesus, because I think he's fairly recently been saved. And the guy just broke down in sobs, and he said, I wouldn't say the S word. He said, I would just kiss his feet. And the emotion was just amazing. And I mean, that's how I think that I would be. You know, you hear people say, well, I can't wait to see so-and-so when you die. And I'm thinking, I can't wait to tell Jesus, thank you. Just look at him. I don't even know if I'd be able to say anything, but just to show gratefulness to this person that has saved us and made my life so amazing. And we should all just have that kind of heart and love for Jesus Christ. That I thought it was the heck with the cuss word. You know, that'll come with conviction down the road, hopefully, that he knows Jesus wants us to be pure of heart and pure of tongue. But good gracious, the heart that he was showing in that, and being so humbled by what he would do when he sees Jesus, was just amazing. And I loved that thought of it, just being at Jesus's feet once this is all over. It'll just be amazing. But it's our responsibility to let others know that we've got this amazing thing to look forward to, but also surrendering to Jesus now is going to make your life here on earth that much better as well. So I also wanted to share in this book, another fun thing that happens when you go through old books is you sometimes find these great handwritten, old way handwritten cursive that I think is just precious. But written here it says, and this is just something that we should all remember, it just says, it is the very essence of Christianity to touch the untouchable, to love the unlovable, and to forgive the unforgivable. Because the closer we get to Jesus and trying to be like him, it's not always easy, but it will get easier to do these things. And when we behave like this, something that's so not natural, people are going to say, whoa, why do they want to touch the untouchable, love the unlovable, and forgive the unforgivable? And it's because Jesus Christ has done all of those things for all of us who are so undeserving of any of it. Most importantly, forgiven us of all of the things that we've done and will continue to do, though we will be convicted of those going forward, hopefully. But he's done it for us, so we should take it as a privilege to be able to do it for others. So that's all I have to say about that. I think tomorrow we will do start in chapter 9, and I think we may just go through verse 27, because starting in verse 28 is the transfiguration, which was something that I didn't understand for a long period of time. It was just a big word I heard in church, so I want to spend a bit of time talking about that. So let's just plan to read chapter 9, verses 1 through 27, and we'll chat about it tomorrow. So I hope you'll have a wonderful night, and I'll close this in prayer. Dear God, thank you so much for this night, and for everyone who may see this video. I pray that that you bless us all as much as we're blessable, and convict us with whatever we have going on we need to be convicted of. But I pray that you help us all to remember how grateful we should continue to be for the gift you've offered us. I pray that everyone who touches this video, if they haven't received your gift, I pray that you open their eyes to what it is, and that they start the conversation with you on wanting to accept your gift of forgiveness and salvation. And in your son's precious name I pray, amen. All right, thanks guys. Y'all have a great night.